Hi, thank you so much for having us here today. My name is Gina Valeria, and I'm the faculty advisor for KSUN Radio, our student-run radio station. And these are our amazing student leaders and student DJs and hosts. I'm going to have you each introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Emma, and I'm the KSUN General Manager.
Hi, my name is Mia Garcia, and I'm just a radio host for one of our shows.
And hello, my name is Braden Woodward, and I'm the promotions lead for KSUN.
And they're doing amazing work. So I advise, but they run the station. They make all the decisions. They create the content, lead the teams. As you heard, we have our general manager here. We have a promotions team that Brady co-leads. We have a social media team, a programming team, a production team who's taking care of the studio. So they're doing amazing work. And this is the team for this semester on the screen here. So KSUN is, as I said, student run and radio and podcasting, and it's by students for students. I don't tell them anything to do about content. We talk together about how we want to handle, tough issues and language and things like that. It's an online radio station, so the students make some decisions about how they want content to be, and then they get to share their voices and share their ideas and grapple with stuff. So these are just some social media posts that our social media team created with a few of the shows, and you'll see these throughout the presentation. And really, I see KSUN Radio as part of social justice because it lifts up student voices. The students have complete control of the station, and they make all the decisions. And so as they're sharing their voices and grappling with issues and bringing people together to talk about these things, they're also building community, their network, they're creating connections, collaborating with each other and with the clubs, organizations, and fellow students on campus.
Thank you. So the KSUN, we really connect in so many ways that we have so many people with different perspectives and so many people with different backgrounds that you really get a sense of community and different ways of communicating with each other. Also, podcasting is like a great way. It's a new trend that's coming back, which is really great that we really love to enjoy. So we get to reach out to as many students as we can, friends, family, and we get to talk about whatever we want. And it's really fun to voice our own opinions, have like debates on them, and get really everyone super excited. So it's a great way to reach out to our community and our fellow Sea Wolves. So I am a first year student for not first year student, first time semester for KSUN, as I should say, right? Yeah, it's my first time. I have no radio background. I have no tech background. I was afraid of joining this class because I always thought like it was for, tech geeks and like all that. Like I thought I had to have like first time experience. It's a outlet, so I was like really scared because a lot of people like already today with social media and technology already have all this background experience, but with KSUN, like you do not need to know anything because that's what the class is for. You get to enjoy it, you get to learn different things, learn how to fix audio, do audio, heighten it, use the audio setup that is in our KSUN studio. So that's really fun. We get to try like new things with mixing, making our own PSAs and all that. So like that's really exciting, and it gives us great experience for different future jobs and stuff, and saying that we know how, we have the background, we're getting the experience for that. And that's what makes it really fun and enjoyable, because everyone next to you is in the same boat and learning how to learn these new technical things. So that makes it so exciting. And the reason why I joined it was because a friend of mine was all like, you should just do it so we can just talk together all day. And I was all like, but don't you need to know how to like press do the volume button, press this, how loud my voice should be? And they're like, that's what the class is for. They teach you. And like, that was really exciting. I was like, okay, I'm not so scared anymore. So KSUN really just like empowers me and like gave me the confidence into trying something new. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so a lot of what we do at KSUN is exploring and engaging. We're trying to not only get everybody in the class to engage, but also students outside of our class to engage with what we're doing on the radio station. We do a lot of like individual and collaborative experiences. My personal show is with me and my best friend. And it's a comedy show. We just talk about whatever we want. And it's a great time. We can go off topic and we can have a great time and really express ourselves live on air, which is what's so much fun to me. It's very freeing, and it definitely allows us to express our creativity or our creative sides. I know for me personally, we just worked on our promotion for our show, and we were able to just go out and we sang over the song "Take on Me." We just basically sang as loud as we could in the studio, and we turned that in, and it was like I said, it was and I was able to express how creative we were and how creative our show is, and show that off a lot. And there's also a lot of different experiences that we are able to like experience while we're working out there. Content and connections. We meet a lot of people. We get a lot of different mail in from different radio stations around where we're from, and so we're able to kind of connect with those people. We're able to gain those connections, and they're hopefully going to be lifelong connections.
So KSUN builds community. We promote KSUN through other organizations and clubs and events on campus. It's a great way for us to be involved with the school. We collaborate with just, different clubs and organizations, and we help get the word out about them, and they help get the word out about us. KSUN encourages wider student involvement, so we can share our opinions, be a guest, offer ideas. The station was closed during COVID, so we kind of built it up from the ground the last few semesters, and it's been amazing to see what students have done and how we've promoted KSUN, how we've gotten people to know about it, how we've brought interest from like incoming students, or like we do Seawolf Decision Day. We did that last year, and we're doing that again this year. And it was amazing to see incoming college students, high school students come up and say, "Oh my gosh, you guys have a radio station. That's such an awesome thing that we can do when we get here to SSU." And we facilitate KSUN studio access. So we kind of allow for other classes and students that aren't in KSUN can still come see the studio. We actually have one show. The student isn't a comm student and he's not in KSUN, but he gets to do his own show. We want to share the space with everyone. We have another student from Studio Blue that's going to be using the space to film his Studio Blue project. So it's kind of just it's builds community in that sense because we share the space, and yeah. KSUN provides opportunities, so students learn teamwork and mutual respect. We really learn how to work as a group. We have, like Gina said, we have different like departments, and so it's not just about like individual work. We're all working together to be kind of like a staff. We're all staff together, and we're all working in the best interest of the station, of the school, of just kind of spreading the word about KSUN. KSUN managers gain experience in leadership and guidance. So you can tell I'm not always the best public speaker, but this class has been really great for me because every day Gina and I stand up in front of the class and I kind of help teach. And it's been really great to learn for me, like how to be a leader and how to guide other people and how to work together, and really how to like see how each student is doing and really connect with each other and make sure everyone's, doing well. And students learn really important skills in KSUN. We learn community outreach and engagement. We are always like promoting with not just on-campus entities, but off-campus, businesses, trying to get them to play KSUN. And students learn audio production and tech operations. So same with Mia, my first semester, this is my third with KSUN, but my first semester, I was like, I don't know how to do any of this radio stuff. And I was also nervous about the techie side of things, but you really just learn when you're in the studio. It's very hands-on. You're kind of thrown in and Gina teaches us a lot, but we do learn by doing. And I've learned so many great skills that I'll take with me after graduation. And another thing is like learning to conduct interviews, learning to talk. People have guests come on their shows of all different kinds, talk about all different kinds of topics, and it's a really great skill to learn how to interview.
So I just wanted to say really quickly, and then play a couple of PSAs, and then we'll come to the rest of the presentation. But I've post lockdown, I think all of us, but students in particular, were looking to connect, and radio audio is the most intimate medium. If you imagine, and this is not my idea, this comes from a book, I believe, Listening In, but if you imagine, if you're listening to radio in your ear and someone is talking on the mic and you're about an inch or two from the mic, then someone's talking an inch or two into your ear. And that's a really close, intimate experience. And our auditory sense is also one of our most primitive senses. So it connects with emotions. So people feel a real connection when they're listening to a podcast and a radio. And I still to this day hear that radio is dead, and it is absolutely not. It's thriving and alive. And it's the podcast space is growing and massive. And so students getting this experience aren't only learning a really valuable tool for media communication and how to express themselves, but they're making connections in a really important way. And I think, radio and podcasting are such a piece of building connection, in this time. And I see it, and I hear from you all and students how important or how valuable this experience has been to them. And so it just means a lot to me. And I think, to bring this back to Social Justice Week, if we make connections and see each other's humanity, it's really difficult to hate people. It's really difficult to other them. And radio can provide an opportunity to connect and see humanity. So as part of what students do, they create PSAs to really bring to light organizations, nonprofits, and campus entities doing great work. So we pulled a few that we're going to play for you. So if you want to play the first PSA, and these are student produced completely.
Hi, welcome to the Welcome Center at Sonoma State University. We are here to help you, new and transfer students, help you to apply to SSU, help you with online orientation, and many more. We offer campus tours in person, and we have virtual pre-admission appointments for new applicants who may feel lost and confused during the process. We also offer summer visit days. Stop by our office in Salazar Building or visit our Instagram page at SSU Welcome Team. Hi, welcome to the Welcome Center at Sonoma State University.
And let's play maybe one or two. Let's see how long the next one is.
Welcome to the Campus Cultural Center, also known as the Hub. Hub stands for Honoring, Uniting, and Building, because the Hub is dedicated to honoring and valuing diverse people, worldviews, and ideas. While highlighting uniqueness, the Hub focuses on uniting students and learning from their experiences. It's also the perfect place to build relationships, have your voice heard, and work towards a better future. The Hub also offers ongoing support groups like Emoji Please, Being Latinx, and It's a Guy Thing, alongside all kinds of fun events every week, including crafting, poetry workshops, cultural celebrations, and so much more. The Hub is an open space where all students can study, hang with friends, or find a quiet place to meditate, attend online classes, or even nap. All this and more can be found at the Hub, second floor of the Student Center, across from student activities. Come find your community. All are welcome.
And I want to play one more, number 3, that came in the email. And to say that, the students produce
Sonoma State.
Oh, go ahead. I'll say it after.
Students, are you interested in joining a community that celebrates diversity and pride? Queer Student Alliance has got you covered. QSA is an inclusive community for sharing and support. If you're part of the LGBTQIA+ community and would like to join a club to learn more and connect with others, join QSA. They meet every Friday on campus from 12 to 1 p.m. on the grass near the student and recreation centers. They host discussions, socials, organized events to support students, and much more. QSA is a student-run organization and welcomes those who are discovering their identities and looking to connect. Follow QSA on Instagram at QSA of SSU.
Nice. And so students right now are seeking out their own PSAs in this semester that you're in the middle of working on them. But we're working on hopefully something to where people can actually ask for a PSA, campus entities, if they want that, so that we can highlight and showcase what's going on campus. So anything else any of you want to say?
Please do, yes. Okay, so for my first show, me and some friends, we were previously in a class together, and her name was Julia. She was the lead last semester, and she was in my other class called Primitivo. It's another comms outlet department, which is really fun. As you can see, we're building a community in our communications department. Yes, we love it. So she's the one who encouraged me to go. And then this semester, my friends, yeah, that's Julia. So great. We are doing a show called Who's Taylor Swift Anyways? And that show is just so much fun because we just get to talk about Taylor Swift, our experience, what we think, what's going on, like the mysterious ways, the conspiracy theories around Taylor Swift and all that. And then also we do get sidetracked. We do get sidetracked and we do talk about like, oh, what's going on today? And then like, oh, wait, how was your day? Like, and then it goes on. And it's like a good connection to build friends and community. And it's a good time to like hang out, especially since we're all seniors this semester. So it's like a good and memorable time for that. So that podcast has been going on. We've had like 2 guest speakers. Julia's technically a guest speaker because she is not in the class anymore. However, she does come back for the semester as a guest, and she does talk about her points too. So it's just really fun. However, we've had a couple guests, and next week my sister is gonna be on Who's Taylor Swift Anyway because she's a Swiftie fan. So that's really exciting. And I wanted to share this experience with my sister because she was like, a podcast, like Mia, like, do you know what you're doing? I was like, no, but that's the fun of it. I'm learning how to do it. And she was like, oh, I've been so into podcasts lately, so it'd be fun to do one. So it was really fun and exciting. And then for a PSA, I have reached out to, or I'm in Primitivo, I'm the GM there, and one of our clients is the FIDOUT community, and it's Live Like Lou. It's an ALS community raising and fundraising support for that. And we have an event coming up. And so I asked my professor, I was like, hey, can we do a PSA to like support and promote like the fundraising for ALS and the event that we're hosting here? And she was like, yeah, of course. So we're working on that right now, and it's really fun. It gives us a summery vibe right now. We just got the okay to like go with it, and like we're all really excited to work on it because we have this vision, we like to say. So we think we think and we say we're the most creative team out here. Even though sometimes we don't know and we're like, Gina, Emma, can you help me out? I don't know what I'm doing, but that's what's fun, and that's what I'm like excited to look for, especially for the semester, my last semester. So that's nice. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about how students have the freedom to basically create any content they want, and I just wanted to kind of talk about how important that is, just to not like censor students. We have the option to do a show about anything we want. We've seen all kinds of shows in my 3 semesters, sports or talking about gossip or true crime or whatever it is. And I just think it's really cool to be able to be a part of this like form of journalism at this time, and when we're kind of living in what will be historical times. And so just that, it's just really amazing that students are allowed to express themselves and have a platform and a safe space for sharing their voices. And what else I was going to say, but yeah, it's just been really amazing to be a part of KSUN.
So yeah, when we all came back from COVID, I came back. I didn't really know a lot of people. Mia was one of my only friends, and I didn't really get to meet a lot of people my freshman year, and we kind of got kicked out right at the end of that semester. And so coming to KSUN, I met a lot of people who I think are the coolest people on campus. And I loved a lot of the relationships that I made with those people, and a lot of hopefully lifelong friends that I made from it. And so not only is it a great way to express yourself and a great way to show off what you've been doing and what you're working on and what you're passionate about, but it's also a great place to meet friends. Like I said, a lot of people that hopefully I've made connections with that will last a lifetime. So yeah.
So thank you so much for listening in. Does anyone in the audience have any questions that they want to ask?
I still didn't have myself unmuted. Anyways, so I'm a psychology major and I've actually been really interested in KSUN, but like do you have to be a comms major? Like, is it like what type of class is it? Like, where would I find it?
Great question. So it's a comms outlet, but it is the only outlet that only has a recommended prereq, because I'll teach you what you need to know. It is for comms majors, but if other people are interested, then you should connect with me, because we want the campus to have access to this. And so if there's a way to get you in, I'm sure I could figure something out. So yeah, we want people to engage with the station and engage with it. So please reach out to me and connect.
It's definitely like a unforgettable experience that you'll always remember. Like my dad was in a radio station class in college, and he's right there. Oh, and it's just I just feel like I will never forget this. Like so I would totally recommend doing it. It's so much fun.
Awesome. First of all, thanks for doing all this. I'm kind of curious though, how do I access your content?
Well, how ridiculous, the comms person. We didn't put the web. Oh my God. Yeah, KSUN.studio. KSUN.studio. That's right. And if you want to go to KSUN.studio, we can show it. But wait, there's more. And I just want to say KSUN.studio was designed completely by students, and it's maintained by students. So the logo was designed by students. Amazing.
So my question was, are you able to participate in KSUN, like the programming and everything while you're in the course, or is it after the course?
Yeah, so it's all a course. So it's technically a class, but it's kind of like doing the real deal. We're running the radio station. We're in the studio all the time. Every student has a show. So you can do a show with, one or two people, or you can do a solo show. You can have, like, for example, my show this semester, my best friend graduated 2 years ago, but she's my co-host. But it's a class, but you're doing it all. It doesn't really feel like a class. It feels more like just so much fun. But yeah, you take the class and do it, the whole thing, while you're in the class.
Just one thing, us comm majors, especially me and Brady and Emma, and everybody else in the class, you will see us outside tabling usually, or just walking around, because we just like to participate ourselves in everything for some reason. And if you ever wanted, we are always like, yeah, KSUN's the best, KSUN's this. And like, we always like, hey, listen to our show. Like, you'll see us, and say if you did want to like join the show, we would find some way somehow to like get you in there. And if you wanted to say something real quick with somebody, we would definitely make the time for it, because a lot of our comms majors are really opening and really nice. And we're like, yeah, we want to hear what you have to say. Like it's a really like a judgmental, like it's not judgmental, it's a judge-free zone. That's what, there we go. It's a judge-free zone, and we like respect everyone's opinions. We make jokes, and it's just like so much fun like that. So anyone you see like with like KSUN, or you see like us outside, our faces, we're usually always around. Ask one of us, we'll connect you with who you can to be part of the show or a radio broadcast. If you have like an event coming up or anything like that, connect with us, and we would be happy to like spread the word out. And it's like so much fun, because that's what we do, and that's what we want to do. It's for you guys, for you personally, and we want to get to know more people, because we like to make friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's such a wonderful program you're doing, and I've really seen my daughter just blossom with this. And I really appreciate the hands-on experiential component that you're offering to the students here, because that's the best way to learn. So, and I'm an educator trainer, and so I was kind of curious, a question for the students. I'm not real familiar with podcasts, but now I am because I listen to Emma's show every week. And I was just wondering, it's a lot of it is kind of just stream of consciousness that you guys are doing. And as a trainer, I often have content and I have to really prepare and get a command of the content. And it actually takes some significant amount of time, as you know, if you're a teacher too. So what do you do to prepare for this? You're elevating your voice, which is awesome. And there's choice, and it's really addressing the equity issues. I think that's great. But how do you prepare for these conversations?
Well, I would say this is what I told everyone the first day of this semester too, because I said, should it be so structured? Because, like radio, Gina teaches us the radio clock and how things are supposed to be like to the second, not even the minute necessarily, how it is on radio. But I think something that has really drawn a lot of students to this is that they're like, oh, podcasting and radio are kind of the same thing. And so it depends. You remember my first show, the true crime show, every minute was planned out pretty much. We didn't always go as planned. But and then the last 2 semesters, I had like a topic and I would write things down. And it's a little bit more of like that podcast, like stream of consciousness, like you said. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I enjoyed the structure a little bit more at times, but also I enjoy the freedom and just the fun and being able to like be real and talk about whatever. Or even, you came on my show last semester. I had questions, I had points, but we would go off, you'd tell a story. And that's kind of like, I think that's what gets people to listen, because it's real, if that makes sense. But each student's show is different, so you guys might.
My show's a little bit different in the sense that it's me and my best friend. And so what we do is we come through with a list of topics every single time, just in case we ever get lost or we need anything to talk about. But really all we do is show up and just talk about our lives. We talk about what we're interested in. We talk about stuff that pertains to us. And it comes with the comfortability of being in the studio. It definitely, my first show, maybe first 2 or 3 shows, we like needed to have a schedule. I didn't know what I was doing unless we had like 5 topics to talk about. And we were planning it out. Like, we'll talk about this topic for 25 minutes and then this one for 36 minutes and stuff like that. And now really we just walk into the studio and we just have a good time. I mean, I don't know how else other to put it than we just have a really great time talking to each other. It's just like 2 friends talking to each other, which is exactly what it is. So I think that it brings a level of comfortability also to our viewers. They know what they're getting themselves into. We don't talk about anything super serious, and we just have a really good time on air. And I think that I've come to learn from our viewers and stuff like that listen, that they feel that same way when they're listening to us. So yeah.
And then sorry, I'm a lot shorter. For me and my group, we always set a Google Doc and we have a list of the different things and set it up the way we want. However, then, if you guys know Taylor Swift, she has a lot of ex-boyfriends. So then we deep dive into their past and why we don't like them. And then we go into like, why are they in this state? And then we end up talking about politics. And then we were like, okay, back to Taylor Swift. So we try to bring it back around, but it's just really hard when you're having a good time, like talking about something you're passionate about, to keep on that same topic, because you want to hear these thoughts. Do you want to hear like those stories and stuff like that? And I think that's what makes radio and like podcasting so fun, because people want to hear like live conversations, because it feels like you're in that conversation. So I just like really appreciate that. And we've tried to be like, yes, we're going to stay on topic, or we're like, we need to come right back. But it's really hard, because then you just start laughing and you're like, wait, I need our audience wants to know more of the story. Like, why does she mean that? And why is he here? And so it's a good like wrap around to see. And it's hard when you're distracted and having a good time. And that's what I like about this class, is because you're so comfortable at first. Your first show, it's so scary. So scary. And so of course you're going to have everything by like, the minute, like we were saying. However, like over the time, you're like, I'm comfortable, I'm set. I don't feel as like scared as I was on my first day to this class. I feel like I actually know and comfortable, and I have my own voice. And so that's really exciting. So yeah.
And I, just to sort of frame everything, first of all, I'm totally thrilled because you are doing what I kind of hoped. And I'll say I come from radio and TV news. And so I do come from planning to the second. And I do want everyone to understand the idea of planning and doing some research, but then to figure out your own way. And all three of you, and I think everybody here, is doing what I hoped you would do, is that you do some preparation. You have handles or things you can fall back on if you need to, and then you let the show go. And a show like Who's Taylor Swift Anyway seems like it might be a certain kind of show, but you do talk about issues, because whatever the topic you talk about, it's going to relate to politics or how people treat people in relationships, or all kinds of things that students people need to grapple with and figure out and decide on and bring to light. So, and then also if you're really into something, you are researching it all the time. Like, you may not think you're doing any Taylor Swift research, but because you're steeped in it. Sports shows, they're like, oh, we didn't do any research. Yeah, you did. All week you've been reading the stories, you've been paying attention to the scores, you've been breaking down the stats. You just love it, so it doesn't feel like research. So you're ready when the mic turns on. And so that's what I ask. And yes, podcasts are much looser than a radio program, and I think that even though I consider radio and podcasting really to be the same thing, I think someone decided to call it podcasting, fine. But I do think that if you're going to try to find a difference, it's this sort of looser format. And I have had to accept it, but I also know that you are doing prep and you're taking it somewhere, and that's really gratifying.
Yeah, I have a question. So it's been 40 years this month since I was involved in radio. Is it because that you're broadcasting over the internet that you're freed from the clock, and it's not going out over the airways, so you don't have to have that? Okay.
Exactly right. So when you're broadcasting on the internet, I don't have to hit the top of the hour or the bottom of the hour, or I don't have to play this PSA or this promo at this time. Separately, I have my own podcast called News in Context, and it's an interview. And when I could put it online, but I'm also on a terrestrial station, so I have to edit it to the second, to 29:30. So that's radio. You're right. A podcast, you can do whatever. And sometimes podcast shows are different lengths. This show's 45 minutes. This show's an hour and 20 minutes, and it's the same show. So yeah, the internet allows to be free from the clock a bit. Though I still teach, how our brains work. After 7 to 9 minutes, our brains will drift. That's the way they work. So what do you do? How do you change up the audio? Play a stinger, play a promo, something to bring people back in, change the topic, new voice, because those things are true whether or not you're on a clock.
No, yeah, going off that, we try to hit the top of the hour because sometimes we like lose ourselves. Yeah, we're like, oh, it's already been an hour. People are like, they need a break from us talking. So we definitely go like, hey guys, we're gonna come back and give you guys a small break, and then play like music that we want to listen to on our break. Like, go to the bathroom, eat, get a sip of water, because talking for an hour or 2 hours, or no, is it 2 hours for me? I think so. Yeah, I was like 2 hours for me can get a lot, and so that's always like really hard too. But we try to like pace ourselves, watch the time as best as we can, and then make it as much as we can like a radio show. And we do like give out shout outs to other shows as well to show our support. So that we could say is more of the radio. It's just like online, it's just a lot easier and more freewheeling, because that's students today. Like, we need more time. It's more time, less time, and it's really flexible for us, just like the schedules we have to make for college. So yeah.
Maybe, oh, yes.
It's not a question, it's more of a comment. I love your show. It got me through my entire first semester here, because the lecture was boring and I was falling asleep. So like getting to listen to the Taylor Swift like drama and stuff, and like right before Midnights came out, it was fantastic. So like you're doing a great job. You didn't sound nervous whatsoever.
Thank you. Thank you. That makes me happy because like we're like, oh, who's listening? Who's not listening? And so sometimes it gets a little like discouraging, but like just hearing like family support and listen to our show, student support, we want you guys to be engaged, and we hope that what we talk about is like significant to you, especially like we try to make funny voices and trying to get you entertained like we're talking to you. So that makes me really happy to hear. Thank you. Any other questions?
I think one last comment, we have these evaluation forms and rely on feedback for getting great speakers for future events and for getting our grant funding. So I think we should transition to our field trip where I will ask about Taylor Swift writing songs that Rihanna, who's my favorite as a non-Swiftie, I talk about Rihanna all the time to my students. So I'll ask about that on our walk to our field trip when we're going to go check out the studio. So thank you so much for joining us here at Social Justice Week.